After a grueling battle all over the colony, you retreat back to Lodge, only to find zombies break through the floor, dropping you into a maze of freshly dug tunnels below. As you get back on your feet, you gather your weapons, looking them over for any sign of damage. Check. Check. I just have to find a way out of here. What the hell is this place? You turn to Dirk, who's pushing himself off the ground at the other end of the chamber before a voice calls down to you. Faith, are you hurt? You look up to see Shannon and Eli peering down into the hole you fell through far too high for you to reach. I'm fine, but there's a whole hive down here. They must have been digging it out for weeks. What about everyone else? Are they okay? A couple people fell into the hive with you. Most of them are scattered or crushed in the rubble, but we're trying to get the rest out. Relief fills you as Troy and Angel come up to the edge of the hole. But we took out the drones and made it inside, though we've still got the horde surrounding us. Give us a second, and we'll come down there. Then you hear the shambling steps and low groans of approaching zombies, seeming to come from all around you. Dirk looks between you and the tunnel. If they come down here, we'll all be sitting ducks. We need to move. Wait, Angel. You have to keep everyone else safe. The more people that are up there, the better. That way, a single zombie doesn't manage to get inside. Everyone's counting on you to defend them. Let us pull you up. There's gotta be some rope around here. There's no time. I'll find a way back, I promise. At least take this with you. And I drop something down through the hole, light glistening against the polished metal and glass as it lands on the ground at your feet. What's this for? What is this? It's a serum I developed, that from the royal jelly in Patricia's pod. It's not a cure. I'm not even sure it'll do anything, but it might suppress the queen's parasite long enough for you to break through to her. Oh, interesting. The sounds of approaching zombies swells out of the darkness, growing closer. Snatching up the injector, you tuck it into your belt and take off in the opposite direction. Ah! Screams of panic and pain echo through the tunnels, distant, but you can hardly tell which direction they're coming from. Just how many people fell down here? They're too far away for us to be of any help. All along the walls are hollows for the zombies to hibernate in. Some drones are still trying to pry themselves out of the sticky goo surrounding them. So we've had zombies living under us this whole entire time and no one noticed. One swats at you with a clawed hand, nearly grabbing you as you lurch back. You crash right into a newly freed drone. No. Its jaw stretches wide and thick globs of saliva splatter across your face as it takes a snap at you. You snatch your sawed-off shotgun and fire at the drone that's almost on top of you, riddling its face with holes that gush blood. But as it falls, the other manages to free one of its legs, stretching just far enough to lash out wildly with its talon-like nails. Out of ammo, you grab the stock of the gun, swing it like a bat, smashing the still hot barrels into the side of its head. Behind you, Dirk has his electric baton raised, ready to strike. He slowly lowers it as the creature stops twitching. Guess you had that one. You wince at the sound of the gunshot comes back, echoing back through the cavern. Something's bound to hear that. Just gotta think. The hive must let out somewhere in the forest around the colony, or we'd have found it by now. You pull Patricia's compass out of your pocket, using it to navigate the twisting corridors. Get me out of here. Okay. We came from the lodge, which is to the north, so the forest has to be to the south. Following the compass, you weave through the tunnels towards what you hope will be the exit. Turning a corner, you stop short as a lone figure looms out of the shadows, eyes burning like embers in the dark. The Queen. You're starting to back away, hand halfway to your weapon, when the figure comes close enough to show her face, freezing you in your tracks as if her clawed hands had seized you by the heart. Oh no. Well, I don't believe that's the Queen. I believe that's your sister. Time to confront this shit. Well, hopefully you're all having a great day. Chapter 20 of Survival of the Fittest. Standing face to face with your sister, her amber eyes glowing eerily in the low light, it churned your stomach just as much as the first time you saw her like this. I know you said, but I didn't believe you. It's really her. Dirk stares awestruck, but Patricia's gaze remains locked on you. Patricia, please, we don't have to do this. Her head tilts to the side, unnaturally far. Patricia, why do you keep calling me that? Because it's your name. Before the other queen changed you. Patricia Reeves. There is no before. I'm not a queen. You're nothing but meat. I don't believe that. The real you has to be in there somewhere. My mother said you tried to trick me. Lying humans, my children will tear the flesh from your bones, and I will feast. She really doesn't remember. She takes a menacing step forward, only to stop as her eyes land on the compass in your hand, brow furrowing. What is that? It's a compass. It shows you the directions, so you never get lost. This one was yours. You gave it to me when we were in the Scouts together? A compass. But then her face twists with rage. She knocks the compass out of your hand, her lips curling back in a snarl to reveal her vicious teeth. More lies, more tricks. For a moment there, it seemed like she was remembering. Patricia's still in there. I just have to remind her of us, of all the good times. Patricia, you don't want to hurt me. You're sorely mistaken. No, I'm not. You're my big sister. You're the one who looked after me. You're the one who taught me how to survive. Her eyes bore into yours, but her arms hang by her sides, making no move to strike. Sister. She shakes her head, any trace of recognition gone as she lets out a furious snarl. Quit stalling me. She springs forward, and you stumble back just in time, her snapping jaws coming within inches of you. Patricia, stop! But she doesn't. She comes at you again and again, driving you back until you hit the wall of the tunnel, your back pressed up against the rough stone. This might be the only chance. You reach behind you, drawing the injector gun out of your belt. Sorry about this, but maybe it'll help you break free. With a feral growl, she swipes out a clawed hand, slapping the injector out of your grip. Dirk launches himself at her, trying to drag her back, but she still slashes right at your face. It's because I think Dirk, wasn't there an option to, literally get rid of him? So, as I told people, this is really a non-starter. You throw your arms up in front of your face, and her claws catch on the metal plates of your gauntlets, getting stuck. Sorry about that. Jerking your arm down one of the claws, still caught between the metal snaps, she lets out a wail of pain. Blood spurts from the wound, dripping onto the cavern floor, and you slowly back away, trying to put a distance between you, only for her to spring forward again. Quit moving. I've gotta get away from her. Leave Faith alone. Dirk steps protectively in front of you, brandishing his electric baton. Snap out of it, Patricia. This is Faith, the most important person in the world to you. His face softens as he looks at her. The two of us care about her. About you. More than anything. So please, come back to us. Dirk, she's not. You're in my way. She throws herself at Dirk, and the two of them crash to the ground. He hits her with his baton, and she lets out a wail of pain as it connects. It's all Dirk can do to hold back her head and keep her from being bitten as she thrashes wildly. Patricia, it's me, Dirk. Don't. She plunges her claws deep into his stomach, stabbing them straight through until they poke out of his back. Blood pours across the dirt as she yanks her claws free, tearing chunks of muscle and organ out of them. Ah! His scream dies in his throat as she sinks her teeth into his jugular, rips through the tendons, gnawing on a piece of bloody flesh. Dirk sacrifice. Yeah, no, whatever. Like I said, it's a non-starter. He lets out a final gurgle and then goes still, eyes glazed over and glassy. Patricia doesn't even seem to notice. Dirk. As she angrily tears into his corpse, his blood forming a pool beneath him, you turn and bolt down the tunnel, snatching up the fallen injector.
Oh, get back here.
Her shriek echoes through the cavern, and it's followed by another one. It's time for a completely different direction. Oh no, it's the Queen. Hey, yeah, it'll be fun. You charge blindly through the twists and turns of the hive when a glimmer of light catches your eye. What's that, a way out? It's getting to a halt. You stare down to a short tunnel where a heap of rubble is illuminated by a weak sunlight, filtering down through the many stories above. Cans, scraps of fabric, and other seemingly random objects peek out from between the chunks of concrete and broken floorboards. This must be where the zombies broke through to one of our storerooms. The opening is much too high to climb, but as you're about to turn away, you spy something bright orange by the base of the rubble. A medicine bottle. Screeches of Patricia and the Queen continue to reverberate through the tunnels, but you can't yet hear the sound of the approaching footfalls. They sound far enough away that I should be able to grab those and get back here before they do, but it's still a risk. Take the painkillers to heal one of your injuries, or to ensure you're better prepared for what's to come. I haven't had injuries yet, thank you very much. You quickly run down to the end of the tunnel, grab the bottle off the floor, and shove it in your pocket before racing back to keep fleeing. At least now I have these if something goes wrong. Your feet pounding harshly on the ground, every step sending a loud echo through the cavern, and behind you, Patricia's voice grows ever closer.
Run all you like, I can still hear you.
You spot some kind of light down one of the tunnels, illuminating the rock in a soft glow. That must be the exit. You charge after it, only to find yourself at another dead end. A large hole in the roof, letting in the light you saw. Damn it. Behind you is another tunnel. But as you go to double back, the Queen strides out of it, eyes gleaming wickedly, and moments later, Patricia comes charging into the chamber.
There you are. We've been looking for you.
Your gaze flicks between the Queen and Patricia, blocking your only escapes. You're trapped. Before you can react, Patricia rushes forward and grabs a hold of your shoulder, grip tight and painful. You stagger back, unable to free yourself. Patricia, please.
Stop calling me that.
Don't you remember... growing up in the tower? The concrete walls, the endless training, the tiny little room we shared, and the nasty training or tasting rations. Until a month ago, that place was our whole life.
Shut up.
She hurls you across the room, and your back slams into the hard rock wall, pain bursting across it.
I don't care who I was to you. Now I am the Queen of Hive. Once I kill you, I can feast on your friends, make the rest into my children, until none of them are left.
No, you won't.
You think you can stop me?
It's not that. You're my sister, Patricia. I know you better than anyone, and you'd never do that. You... always kept me safe. That's why you won't kill me now, because deep down I know you still care the way you used to. You got us to the tower when we were kids. You helped us flee when they were gonna kill me. And you gave your life to make sure I survived. Her confident expression falters, sorrow etched across her features. I'm still standing here because of you. She shakes her head violently, clutching it in her hand so hard her nails dig in and draw blood.
Why do you have to be so damn persistent? You're confusing me.
I'm so close to breaking through. She just needs a little push to remember everything. There must be some kind of memory I can jog, or a time when she tried to protect me. It comes to you, just as she moves forward, forcing your back into a sticky hollow as she flexes her clawed fingers. Patricia, do you remember when I joined the scavenging team? Or she pauses, eyes still cold.
Scavenging team.
Let me tell you, please. Oh my god. Help, Patricia, remember. I was so excited to see the outside world for the first time. You stared in her eyes, pleading for her to remember as she began to tell the story. Practically bouncing with excitement, you come bursting into your and Patricia's room to find your sister at her desk. Guess what? Guess what? Charlie looks up, and you punch her lightly on the shoulder. You aren't even gonna wish me happy birthday? She cracks a smile and rolls her eyes. Well, I would have if you hadn't gotten up at the ass crack of dawn and rushed out of here. I'm 18 today, Patricia. I can finally work a real job. And guess what I signed up for? Janitorial. No, stupid, I'm gonna be a scavenger. Faith. I know you said you didn't want me to, but it's time I got out and experienced the world. Besides, if you and the other scouts do your job, it should be totally safe. We're just gathering supplies in places you've already cleared. I can't wait to see a real plant, big city, a zombie. A real plant. No offense to the fake flowers on your desk, but they smell like garbage. Troy told me real flowers are supposed to smell like cleaning agent, only sweeter. I have never smelled a flower that smells like a cleaning agent, I'm gonna be real. Just hope you don't have allergies. Oh, this is true. Patricia's words leave a tense tension in the room. She refuses to look at you, staring down at the papers on her desk. You're not mad, are you? No. Really? I thought you were gonna be, like, pissed. I'm not mad because it's not happening. What do you mean? I signed all the paperwork this morning. And I talked to Andrew right after that. You're being transferred to pest control. What? We agreed it was better for you to learn some basic weapons skills here. And when you're a bit older, we can talk about you joining the Scouts. The Scouts have better weapons, and get to go out further than the Scavengers ever do. You should be excited. You have to be 25 to join the Scouts. You want me to work in pest control for 7 years? You need to stop treating me like a child. Maybe I will when you quit acting like one. I'm an adult now, Patricia. You can't keep making decisions for me. I'm the one responsible for you. If anything were to happen... You're not our dad. Stop trying to be. This isn't up for debate, Faith. Patricia runs a frustrated hand down her face. At least if you join the Scouts, I'll be able to keep an eye on you. So basically, forever living in your shadow and never letting you grow up. Got it. She meets your furious gaze with a cold glare, and you take a step back as angry tears start to fill your eyes. I hate you. Without another word, you rush out of the room, slamming the door behind you. Yeah, happy birthday. Lil. As you finish telling the story, Patricia frowns, her brow creasing in confusion.
Why does this matter?
I didn't get it either at first. Back then, I was just so angry that you kept getting in my way. But I understand now. I know you were afraid of losing me, and wanted to protect. You already lost so much. You watched our dads die. You saw zombies tear apart your friends and the Scouts. I was the one thing you couldn't stand the thought of living without. And I get now. Because I lost you. You look pleadingly into her eyes to find tears wordlessly dripping out of them, pouring down her face. Faith. I'm so sorry. I should have... We still have work to do, my child. Finish it. But she doesn't move. She just stares at you, eyes wide. Is something the matter? You must eat if you're going to grow stronger. I can't. So I didn't even need the injector? She is meat, only meant to nourish us. You must never forget that.
but it feels wrong. Very well. It seems I must make this kill for you.
Mind racing, you reach for your weapon, and your fingers brush up against the cool metal of the injector. Its vial of serum still miraculously intact. So you're gonna what? Inject what? The queen? Without a desperate cry, you surge forward and plunge a needle deep into Patricia's chest. She lets out a wail of pain, thrashing and shoving you back as the liquid in the syringe disappears into her. Did it work? Are you back? Patricia doesn't answer you. You look desperately in her eyes, searching for some kind of change, but they still glow amber just as before. The queen charges past you to Patricia, taking her face in her hands and cradling it gently.
You hurt my child.
Oh, you give a shit about your zombies. Weird.
No. Yes. I'm not. It burns. Everything burns.
She sways on her feet, disoriented.
There was something important.
Patricia, please, it's me. The queen whirls in your direction, face twisted with rage.
What did you do to her?
She takes a menacing step towards you, and Patricia suddenly grabs her shoulders, holding her back. The queen looks at her in confusion.
What's the matter?
Patricia finally looks at you. Really looks. You hold your breath as she turns to the queen, and back to you, and then the queen once more. Then she rips a syringe out of her chest and stabs it right into one of the queen's eyes. I'm not doing that. Yeah, no. No. The queen stumbles back, clutching her face. A sticky white goo leaks out of her eye socket. You rush over to your sister, recognition clear in her eyes. Patricia, is it really you? Are you really back?
I think so. And it feels like something is trying to claw its way out of me. Like I barely have control. What the hell is happening?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. And now's not the time. The queen tears a syringe out of her eye and tosses it aside as she lets out a terrifying snarl.
What have you done to my daughter?
She thinks I'm her daughter. I mean, she did turn you into a zombie?
So that's why.
The queen charges right for you, and Patricia reacts just in time to grab her. When the queen's claws dig into your arm as she tries to drag you into her foaming maw, Patricia barely holding her back. You seem mad. You want a hug? Smash my head against hers. You throw your head forward, twisting it to the side, so one of the horns of your headdress stabs right through the queen's cheek. She reels back in pain, only causing the horn to tear through the rotting skin until it reaches her mouth. As she reels back, her grip slackens. Patricia is able to rip her away from you, shoving her into the center of the room.
Get off her.
The queen's head jerks up, gaze locked on you again. White blood pours from the torn flesh, pieces of it hanging limply from her jaw.
I will deal with you first.
The queen springs at you once again, but this time Patricia steps protectively in front, stopping her in her tracks.
A child ought to obey her mother. You aren't my mother.
Patricia aims a punch at the queen's hand, but she easily bats the blow aside and sinks her razor-sharp teeth into Patricia's shoulder. Patricia wrenches herself free of the queen's jaw, muscle and rotten skin snapping and tearing free.
I still have your fighting spirit, but you can't win. I made you. If you refuse to fulfill your purpose, you are of no use to me anymore.
Shield Patricia. Throw yourself between them, and the queen lashes out, her claws raking across the leather of your vest. Listen, leather is only so damn, defendable, I'm gonna be honest. The leather by now should have been, shredded. Your heels dig into the dirt, but you hold your ground while her claws catch on pieces and get twisted on the fabric. With her Still tangled up, you take a step back and rip yourself away, snapping a number of her claws off where they meet her fingers. She screeches as the broken talons clatter to the ground, her eyes blazing as you continue to stand in her way. You want her, you'll have to go through me.
Fine.
As you back away from the Queen, you lock eyes with Patricia across the room. She mouths to you.
On your signal, I grab her.
You keep moving, feigning fear, as you guide the Queen around the cavern, so her back is completely turned to Patricia. Now. She launches herself at the Queen, sinking her claws into her back, digging in deep. Blood pours from the wounds dripping onto the floor.
Oof! Oof!
The Queen thrashes wildly, but with Patricia behind her, holding tight, she can't free herself.
Now, Faith.
Take a swing. Swing, better swing. Throwing your axe off your back, you rush for it, raising it high above your head as you bring it down onto the Queen. But she jerks right out of the way before it connects, causing the blade to sink deep into her shoulder, dark blood staining the metal. Hold still. You grip the handle with both hands and force the axe out of the rest of the way through the thick muscle and bone, severing her arm. But we never get to see that in the picture. RP immersion ruined. The Queen lets out an ear-piercing shriek as her arm falls to the ground, still twitching, and blood gushes from the open wound, splashing onto your boots.
Again.
But, even injured as she is, the Queen keeps fighting, practically feral. Reaches back, and her claws tear through Patricia's arm, cutting the tendons so she's able to partially break free of her hold and swipe at you. But, just in time, Patricia yanks her away with her good arm, sticky black ichor pouring down the other and pooling onto the ground. As she wrestles with the Queen, her eyes manage to find yours, even in the chaos.
Faith, you have to go.
What?
You have people counting on you out there. I don't know how long I'll be in control. Let me do this. Let me set things right.
No, I'm not leaving you again. Sorrow fills her eyes, but she smiles as she looks you over, even as the Queen struggles against her.
I'm proud of you, Faith. You've grown so much. You're everything I hoped you'd be, and more. But I'm still your big sister.
And deep down, you know she's right. The rest of Io still needs your help. You can't risk dying here. Patricia grabs the Queen, throws her across the room, turning her back on you.
I'll hold her as long as I can. Go.
But...
Go!
Makes the second time you've walked away from your sister. Forcing your feet to move, you turn and rush out of the tunnel. Behind you, the sounds of fighting, echoing after you. But with every snarl and clash that reach your ears, you step slow as you remember. Take her. Dirk and Eli grab your arms, and you struggle wildly as you're dragged away into the tunnel. No, let go of me. We're not leaving her. We're not leaving my sister. All right, you bastards. Let's see what you've got. Let out a wordless scream as Eli throws a lever. The ceiling of the tunnel collapses behind you. You come to stop in the middle of the tunnel, chest aching as you relive the memory. You had to leave her behind once already. You didn't have a choice. But now you do. And you can't do it again. I'm going back for her. Turning around, you race through the caverns, back to Patricia and the Queen, but the moment they come into view, you watch the Queen jam her hand into Patricia's chest cavity. No! But... even as blood trickles out of her mouth, Patricia grabs the Queen's hair and yanks her head to the side so she can rip her claws straight through the Queen's neck, decapitating her. Her head rolls across the ground as the rest of her crumbles into a heap. Patricia collapses on top of her. You rush to her side, dropping to your knees and pulling her mangled body into your lap. Her eyes are glazed over as they meet yours, but she smiles as she lets out a final shuddering breath. I can't lose you again. Please, Patricia, I just got you back. Tears fill your eyes and fall onto her face, a sob shaking your body. But she remains still as you clutch her close. Don't leave me, please. This time, you hold her until her body grows cold, your sobs echoing into the dark tunnels. Carrying Patricia in your arms, you trek through the hive until you finally find your way out into the grassy field around the colony. Without the queen to guide them, the last wave of the zombies flee in every direction, scattering in the trees as you trudge through the broken gate. Off to find easier prey. Looking around, you're both surprised and relieved to see most of the buildings still standing. Their exteriors scratched up, but overall no worse for the wear. You're both. Your sister is literally dead in your arms, but hey, whatever. And while the lawn is littered with zombie corpses, there aren't as many people among them as you'd feared. Your colony defended well during the solstice. Yeah. All that hard work paid off. We survived. We really did it. Faith. You look up to see Troy, Shannon, Eli, Angel, and Sledge come out of the launch, but as you turn your gaze back to Patricia's body in your arms, the fight goes out of you. Slinking onto the grass, you clutch her close, your lungs burn, and with every breath, tears spill from your eyes uncontrollably. Everyone, she's alive! Shannon trails off as she gets close, the rest of your friends right behind her. Oh God, Faith. I really hoped the serum would work. It did. She was herself again, at least for a little while. She sits down in the grass beside you, rests her shoulder against yours with a warmth, a small comfort. What happened? She gave her life to kill the queen. Eli nods slowly, then kneels down across from you. He gently cups her cheek, his thumb brushing tenderly over it until you meet his gaze. I'm sorry, Faith, that you had to go through this again. Sledge steps up to you and places a hand on your forearm, giving a soft squeeze, before slowly moving Patricia's body out of your arms. Let's get you inside. She'll still be here later. You're still staring at Patricia's body when Angel offers you her hand and helps you to your feet. She pulls you into a tight, bear hug. I should have been there for you. With you. Maybe I could have... As Angel lets you go, you take a step forward. Only for your knees to buckle, Troy catches you, helping you get to your footing. I've got you. As you start towards the lodge, you take a deep, shuddering breath. All the terror and pain and adrenaline of the past few weeks falling away as something else starts to take its place. It's over. It's finally over. The next day, you and your friends are standing over a deep pit dug into the ground beside a river that runs next to your colony. Even Sledge is in attendance, face stony as she stands a little apart from the rest of the group. I keep thinking she's not really dead, just like last time, but you look down at your sister's body lying at the bottom of a hole, a peaceful expression on her face. You all quietly fill in the grave with dirt you dug up in your eye. You find tears welling in your eyes as the last of her disappears beneath it. She's really gone. I know it's hard, Faith, but this is what she would have wanted. The rest of us surviving. You surviving. It's why she gave her life the first time. Why she did the same thing yesterday. I wish she'd made it. Everyone dies eventually. She went out better than most. Angel nudges you gently in the side with her elbow. You should say something about her, Faith. At least, I think that's what you're supposed to do. She made me the leader I am today. Patricia taught me how to fight, how to defend, but more importantly, she taught me about what matters. We had a great life at the tower, but she threw it all away to save me. She showed me that stuff can always be replaced, people can't. As you finish burying her, Shannon lets out a heavy sigh as she looks back towards Io. We all made it, but it still doesn't feel like a win. Living another day is the win. I know what you mean, Shannon. There are so few of us left from the tower now. It feels wrong to think about life without them. Be grateful you have anyone left at all. We saved so many people. Why couldn't we save her? Sometimes that's how life is. After a long moment of silence, Sledge lets out a huff, crossing her arms. We boring you? Yes, actually, Raider funerals involve a lot less moping and a lot more drinking. That's not a bad idea. Instead of mourning Patricia's death, why don't we celebrate her life instead? Patricia always liked a good drink. We ought to have one in her honor. It's a beautiful day out, and it's not like there will be any zombies around. We might as well enjoy it. Carpe diem. What does a carp have to do with anything? It means to celebrate being alive. It would be nice to relax for once. Remember simpler times. Think about the future. Diamond choice. Also, this will be your last time to spend time together in the bog. We earned a break. And lucky for us, I came prepared. Troy rifles through his bag and pulls out an unlabeled glass bottle along with 7 cups. Where did you even get that? The gentleman never tells. You stole it from Knuckles, didn't you? You have no proof! No proof, I say. He's gonna kill you when he finds out. That's a fight you gotta let me watch. What fight? I wiped the floor with him last time. This is true, he did. Last time his boyfriend and girlfriend were around to back him up. That's one throuple I'd rather not tangle with. Troy pours a splash of liquor in each of the cups, handing them out and setting the last one on top of Patricia's grave. Eli raises his cup, the air suddenly melancholy. To Patricia. To Patricia. Each of her friends echoes in turn, raising their cups before you all take a sip. The alcohol burns as it goes down your throat, leaving a warmth in your chest. Shannon coughs. That's strong. Angel throws an arm around her shoulders, nearly making Shannon drop her cup in the process. Keep drinking, you'll get used to it. How about another toast, then? To the future. Think of everything that's happened in the last month. Who knows what could happen tomorrow? That sounds a little more terrifying than exciting. You just have to the right mindset. Think of all the good that could happen. Or the bad. Y'all take another drink, and it's not long before you've settled in the grass nearby Patricia's grave. I say we all play a drinking game, so you can get drunk the fastest. Not everything has to be a competition, son. Why, you scared of losing, Sipes? Eli glares at him over the top of his cup. I'm kidding! Kinda. I was just going to propose that we play past or future. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. Neither have I. That's because I just came up with it. Okay, someone asks you past or future, you take a drink, and then tell them a funny story from your past or something you want to happen in the future. In what way is that a drinking game? Yeah, no, it's just like drink every time you talk to. Like, it's stupid. We're all drinking and playing a game. I say that counts. I'll go first, I pick future. Angel takes a big gulp from her cup as she grins. I really want to forge myself a sword. Lee already promised to show me how, so it's definitely happening. Well, that's a terrifying thought. Shannon, your turn, past or future? Past, I guess? She takes a sip from her drink, nose wrinkling at the taste, and goes silent, brow crinkling in thought. I was 6 or 7 when I decided I wanted to study biology and anatomy, and that year I got a microscope for my birthday. I ran around the whole outpost finding different stuff to put on the slides and look at close. Pond water was definitely the coolest, though. Yeah, it's pretty lively. Nah, you're either the cutest or the weirdest person I know. Why not both? Can't she be both? Yes! Shannon's cheeks flush, and she turns pointedly to you. Okay, Faith, past or future? I pick future. You take a drink from your cup as you ponder what to say. I want to live to see the future. Given how many scrapes you've already gotten out of, I think you're more than capable of that. I know, it's not anything lofty, but people like to dream big, but then reality sets in and crushes them. Yeah, tell me about it. I don't know, is optimism such a bad thing? It's not, until, like Sledge just said, reality sets in and crushes you. You go from being a giddy-eyed optimistic person to a cynic. That's all I'll say. I just don't want to set myself up for a disappointment. If something good comes our way, it'll just be a nice surprise. Troy, you're up. Alright, I don't know that there's anything I really want in the future. I'm pretty damn content, so I guess past that is. To make a long story short, yes, I pantsed Faith, the first emitter, and no, I do not regret it. Oh, that's hilarious. She took one of my ration bars. Because you scribbled all over my coloring page. Children. Alright, Sledge, past or future? Please say past, please say past. Sledge lets out a heavy sigh, pinches the bridge of her nose, and then takes a long drink. Fine, past. I stole my first car when I was 10. It was an old pickup truck, the end. That was boring. There's gotta be more to that story than that. How'd you steal it? Some idiots left the keys inside. Made it about a half mile before I ran into a ditch. Looks like you're the last one, Eli. Future. I think at some point I'd like to learn to play an instrument. Can we get him a new shirt first? Seriously. This whole time, this man's been just walking around with this giant, massive wound, right? The dude needs a new shirt. Can we not have spare shirts? Well, if you can find one out scavenging, I'm sure I could put one together with the right materials. Are trees spinning for everyone else, or is that just me? Yeah, I think we could use a walk, otherwise we might pass out right here. If we can walk. You've been Okay, shut up. You all had, maybe a cup. The six of you stumble along an overgrown path, finding your way to the edge of the river, where the water softly burbles as it flows downstream. A dip in the water might sober us up. I never learned how to swim. Neither did I. We'll figure it out together. Yay, doggy paddle. Angel grabs Shannon's hand and pulls her down to the river, while Eli follows behind with a shake of his head. I'll make sure they don't drown. I think I'll stay right here. I'll race you to the water, Faith. You'll regret that. A sledge settles down on the bank. You and Troy race after the others, pulling off your clothes and diving into the frigid water. Hey, Sledge, you're a lot of fun. Cold. It's cold. Refreshing. Troy lays back to float while Eli shows Angel and Shannon the basics of swimming, keeping them in the shallow water. Sledge strips as well, kicking off her boots and resting her legs in the water. Float and relax with Troy. Splash, Eli, Shannon, and Angel dive deep and scare Sledge. Taking a deep breath, you dive below the surface, sinking down and staying close to the riverbed as you move forward. The water is a tad murky, but you can still spot Sledge's feet up against the rocky bank. Grinning to yourself, you grab a hold of one and pull, dragging her into the water. Ha! You need a bath anyway. She crashes in the water beside you, flailing, and you come up to the surface, unable to hold back the laughter. You should have seen your face. Faith, that was terrible. She suddenly tackles you back, and you wrestle, trying to hold each other's heads under the water. Yes, fight. Okay. Hello, Joker, Harley Quinn, bra. Also, I see the... Interesting. She has burns on her arm or something. My money's on Faith for the record. Anyone want to bet on Sledge? Have none of you heard of water safety? Listen, lifeguard man, you need to calm down. Soon, you all wind up laid out nearby, staring up at the crystal blue sky as you lay in the sun. Rolling onto your side, you glance around at all your friends. Eli is idly whittling a small piece of wood with a knife. Shannon looking over the flowers that grow along the bank. Troy is skipping rocks across the water. Angel's humming a soft tune as she lays on the grass, and Sledge is resting with her back against a tree. I should talk to Sledge. Okay, can I talk to them all is the question. Yeah, I'm gonna do Sledge. Just in case. As you near the tree, Sledge is sitting under this. She scoots over just a bit, giving you space to thump down beside her. I hope you weren't getting too lonely over here. Hardly. You sit in silence for a moment, listening to the trees blow in the wind and the quiet babble of the river. So what now? We lived. We keep doing whatever it takes to survive. I mean, that's a good picture goal, but I meant more like, what are we gonna do tonight? What are we gonna do tomorrow? I think that's up for you to decide. You're the leader of IO. As for me, I've gotta get packed. You going someplace? It's about time me and the rest of the raiders head back to our base. Then you're leaving. Gotta check on everything, make sure nothing got stolen. If the assholes around here know what's good for them, they'll have left it alone. Cool breeze blows across your bare skin, and you find yourself pressed up against the warmth of Sledge's side. She doesn't return the pressure, but she doesn't move away either. Maybe I'll visit. After all, I am a raider now, so I should be able to stop by whenever I want, right? Just try not to bring all your friends. She jerks her thumb over her shoulder at the rest of the group. These ones are fine. Everyone else leave at IO. You're being so accommodating. Is it really because you're gonna miss me when you're gone? You grin at her, but she doesn't. She just meets you with a deadpan glare. What I won't miss is your blabbering. I think someone's avoiding the question because she doesn't want to admit that she cares. Sledge puts her hand over your face and shoves you away, but you catch the corner of her eye crinkle in amusement. Think whatever you want. Don't worry, I'm gonna miss you too. Then there's the hand of the back of your neck, dragging you forward to meet Sledge in a heated kiss. She deepens the kiss, her tongue pressing against yours, and then she pulls away. She nips at your bottom lip, sending a shiver down your spine, and she smirks. Gotta leave you something to remember me by. I don't know. I don't think that's quite the imprinted on my memory. Might have to try again. She shakes her head and kisses you again, pressing you against the tree so the bark digs into your back as she claims your mouth. Clutching your shoulders, you keep her there, taunting more kisses out of her until the two of you are panting for breath. Hey, we can. Alright, let's go talk to Angel. I'm gonna talk to them all. And as soon as you come near, Angel leaps up and gives you a massive hug. It's pulling you onto the grass beside her. Someone's in a good mood. How could I not be? I mean, sure, there are still Z-bags around, but imminent messy death feels way less likely. Well, that is a plus. Angel picks up the grass and tosses a handful in the air, letting the wind carry it away. I've been out of the mall for a month now, but we've hardly gotten to go anywhere else because of the solstice. There's so much we could see. Did you have something in mind? Well, first off, another city. No offense to Reno, but the whole hive thing kind of ruined it for me. And then there's the ocean, the airplanes, and who knows what else. With a big smile, she tucks herself against your side, cuddling close, and you press a kiss to the top of her head. If it makes you feel any better, I haven't seen that stuff either. I've been in the tower since the outbreak. So you'll come exploring with me then? I'm game for anything. Now we just have to figure out where we're going first. I'm surprised you don't already have it all planned out. Her cheeks flush and she chews her lower lip. I didn't want to get too ahead of myself in case you didn't want to leave IO. Angel. It's just that ever since you showed up at the mall, I haven't been alone anymore, and it's been so nice. Having people to talk to, having friends, having a family again. You're right, Angel. We're a family. The family sticks together, so you have nothing to worry about. Angel beams at you, and the two of you stay laying in the grass for some time, watching the clouds and talking about everything yet to come. Shannon. As you approach Shannon, she looks up from a spray of wildflowers with a sunny smile. Look at these, Faith. They're coast lilies. From what I've read, they're incredibly rare, especially this far inland. Why am I not shocked that you know the name of every plant on this mountain? Not every plant. I don't believe you. I bet back at the research station, you'd stay up late memorizing lists of native ferns. Shannon doesn't answer, and when you look over at her, she's staring sadly at the ground. I was just teasing you, Shannon. You know I don't think... Well, it's not that. I was just remembering everything that happened at the outpost. It's hard to believe that that was just a month ago. You reach over and take one of her hands between the both of yours, and just holding it. Do you want to talk about it? Those days waiting. Part of me was so sure that that was going to be the end. That my life was over, and then you were there, and it turned out to be the start of something entirely new. Shannon, we've come a long way from then. That was the first real time out in the world. My first time fighting zombies. And now you've taken on a whole horde. Twice. You figured out how to make a zombie gas that frightens zombies. And made the serum that helped Patricia remember me. Your fighting skills have gotten better too. I'd still like to learn how to use real weapons. Rocks and grenades are good, but they aren't always practical. My point is that we're both grown a lot. Just imagine how much more impressive we'll be after a month of not having to panic over thousands of zombies coming to kill us. You helped me get here, Faith. Everything used to be so frightening, and then I saw how brave you were. It was inspiring. And then everyone gave me crap for Shannon, but not realizing that's what has helped her grow, literally. You flash our grand before Shannon turns back to the flowers, and you listen for some time as she shares everything she knows about them. Like, seriously, people, I don't think you get it. You are not gonna grow unless you toughen up. There's a time and a place to be soft, gentle, caring, and all this other things, right? But there's also times where you have to kind of, like, dig deep and toughen up a little. Like, it's 2022 and everyone seems so soft. It seriously is a thing. And yet, some of you just don't seem to care about other people. You only, like, wake up and you'll do your little woke moment for a minute and then take a tinkle in the toilet and then go back to sleep. Like, you never, like, aim for helping others. Just yourselves. I'm just speaking the truth here. Troy is still skipping rocks when you make it your way over to him by the edge of the river. As you approach, he tosses one that manages to bounce all the way across. Show off. Can you blame me? He tosses a smooth, flat stone over to you, and you skip it across the water where it plops into the river just before the other side. Almost beat you there. Alas, not everyone can be this impressive. You roll your eyes and punch him lightly in the shoulder. Shut up. I have been thinking, yesterday about Settles it. Settles what? That you just can't get rid of me. You laugh as Troy gives you his trademark cocky grin. When we separately fled the tower and still found each other again, I thought it might be a fluke. I'm gonna be honest, I thought he was a traitor. I thought he was gonna be the Dirk of the group. But then we made it, though, both yesterday. Even with a whole horde of zombies against us. Yeah, Troy, I guess I'll just have to try harder. You think about 20 years, and I don't know all your tricks? I'm sure I can come up with something. He puts on his most forlorn expression, lower lip sticking out as he bows. You want to get away from me that badly? I'm hurt, Faye, truly hurt. You're so dramatic. I'm kidding. Besides, I need my best friend around to constantly tell me what a good job I'm doing. Happy to be of a service. The two of you grin at each other for a moment before breaking into laughter, and you elbow him in the side. But seriously, thank you for sticking by my side through all this. Likewise. You snatch another stone from the ground and toss it across the water, the two of you quickly falling back into the competition for whose rock can go the furthest. And finally, Eli. You get up and join Eli, who glances at you briefly before he returns to carving off chunks from the piece of wood he's holding. What you making there? A bird. It's one of these here shapes. Shooting, fighting, and now whittling. Is there anything you can't do?
I can't draw a picture to save my life.
Well, then, I guess it's a good thing you met me, because I am an excellent artist. He cracks a smile, then looks out at the river, falling silent for a long moment.
A month ago, all I had was my cabin. It was all I needed. And now...
Now you're stuck with a bunch of idiots who you have to constantly look after?
That is one thing. It's just strange. For as long as I can remember, that place was my home. I thought it always would be.
Are you thinking about going back there?
No. It feels like something's changed.
You place your hand on his forearm, giving it a gentle squeeze. Do you regret what we have together? I know you've been hesitant about getting attached, but I still kept trying.
Faith
cups a cheek in his hand and turns you to face him, his dark eyes meeting yours full of intensity.
I don't regret any of it. Meeting you, it's one of the only good things that's happened to me in the last few years.
Then why'd you keep pushing me away?
Because I was terrified of losing it. Of losing you. I still am. But I'm sick of fighting, and the way I feel when I'm with you is more than worth the risk.
He draws you forward into a gentle, sensuous kiss, warmth blooming in your chest as he holds you close. His eyes are so full of warmth, you feel like you might fall into them. Then as you break apart, he rests his forehead against yours as he tenderly strokes the back of your neck.
You're gonna drive me crazy.
Good. With a chuckle, you surge forward to meet him again, and his lips part eerily beneath yours as you deepen the kiss. You share a few unhurried kisses before you settle into a side and rest your head on his shoulder, the two of you basking in each other's company. We should probably be heading back before the others start to miss us. But this was nice. I hope we have more time to just breathe like this in the future. You all gather up your clothes and get dressed before following the trail back towards your colony, passing by Patricia's grave as you do. As the others head up the hill, you pause by Patricia's grave, kneeling down to lay your palm softly on the dirt. Patricia, I'm gonna miss you so much, but I promise you'll always be with me. You're never gonna be gone, not really. Every time I fire my crossbow or smash into a zombie's head, you'll be with me. More than that, you'll be with me when I'm helping the gardens, when I'm playing with May, when I'm planning a new building. You'll be there for all of it. The scary stuff and the wonderful stuff. You close your eyes for a moment, pressing your hand to the soft earth. The soil is warm from the sun, and you can almost imagine that Patricia is holding your hand. Goodbye, and thank you for everything. Getting to your feet, you make your way down the forest path towards your friends, your home, and your future. We never needed the painkillers, by the way. I'm not rating all those. Congratulations, you collected all the lore documents and unlocked a bonus scene. I'm sorry, we had lore documents? Seriously. Now playing as Patricia many years ago, you're hurrying through the streets, folding face, hand tightly in your own. The screams echo all around you, burning buildings. Come on, Faith, we have to keep moving. I'm tired. I know, we just need to get a little further. We can't stop here. In the middle of the road, a man lets out an ear-piercing shriek as a horrifying creature rips open his gut with its jagged teeth. Ah! Your mind instantly floods with images of your dad lashing out at Papa, spraying his blood across the walls and the floor. Where are they? This voice jolts you back to the present, and you jerk her away to keep her from seeing the grisly sight, ducking into an alley where you pause to catch your breath. I want Papa. Her eyes filled with tears quickly spilling over, and your own heart sinks. I do too. Take a deep breath, you wipe the tears from face as you say to yourself, but Papa isn't here right now. We've got to be strong for him, okay? Faith gives a tentative nod, and you squeeze her hand. You lead her out of the alley to another street, debris scattered about. Where are we going? Out of town as far away as we can get. Daddy and Papa will meet us there? You swallow the bile in your throat as unwanted images assault you once again. Papa shouting for you to run as Dad sank his teeth into his neck. Faith. Patricia! She points, and following her gaze, you spot one of the creatures shambling out of the rundown store right across the street. The two of you duck behind a half-destroyed car. Faith lets out a terrified whimper, and you cup your hand over her mouth, holding your breath as you listen. It's sniffing, as close as first, and then seems to grow further away, though it's hard to tell with all the noise echoing through the city. You crouch to peer into the car, and not seeing its legs, you let a sigh of relief. Phew, I think... Yeah, there it is. The creature suddenly springs out from the back of the car and takes a swipe at Faith. Its claws barely missing her as they tear into her backpack. Ah! It tries to drag her towards it, teeth gnashing. All you can do is grab her hand to try and pull her away. Let go of her! But the monster is far stronger than you. You look around wildly for something to fight with spotting a piece of broken glass on the ground. As you reach for it, you feel Faith begin to slip out of your grasp. Patricia, don't let me... Don't let it get me! Don't let it get me! I'm trying it. The creature suddenly crumples, and standing behind it is a woman holding a long piece of wood. You snatch a piece of glass from the ground and step protectively in front of Faith, who clings to it as she cries. Stay away! I'm not going to hurt you. The woman sets down the 2x4, and very slowly she shows you her arms and hands and spins around so you get a complete view of her. See, no bites. You set the glass back on the sidewalk, and the woman looks around the empty street with a frown. Are you two all alone out here? Where are your parents? They're gonna meet us outside of town. We had to leave them. You meet the woman's gaze, and she nods in unspoken understanding. My poor dears. You gently stroke Faith's hair as she lets out another sob against her leg. The woman squats down to be at her level. How would you like a piece of candy, little one? Faith immediately perks up, holding her hand out, and as soon as she has the small, neon-colored candy, she pops it in her mouth. That's what you mean. I'm Patricia, and this is my sister Faith. I'm Candace. What do you two, say to sticking with me? I know a couple of people trying to get out of the city, too. I can't walk anymore, I'm tired. How about I carry you, then? Candace carries Faith as she leads you towards the outskirts of town, managing to avoid the terrifying creatures wandering the streets. Soon Faith is dozing in her arms. Like you've been doing a good job looking after your little sister. I'm just trying to keep her safe. You have a motherly instinct, I can tell, but I promise, from here on out, I'll be the one looking after you. You find yourself smiling up at her. It's not long before she points to a truck sitting just outside the city limits with a couple people waiting nearby. There's our ride. There you are, Candace. Did you get the stuff? I grabbed as much medicine as I could find, but the pharmacy was already on fire. I did find these two on my way out. Candace sets Faith in the truck bed and lifts you beside her before climbing in herself. Faith yawns as she scoots closer to you. Where are we going now? Someplace safe. We should have enough gas to get in the mountains. I'm sure there'll be somewhere where there'll be we can hold up a military bunker or something. Engine backfires loudly as the woman in the cab turns it on, and suddenly it's like the monsters are appearing out of thin air. They swarm through the streets with like a great wave, carrying with them the sickly stench of something rotten. Faith trembles as she grabs a hold of you. Patricia, I'm scared. It's okay, we're gonna get out of here. We step on it. Even as the car takes off, the creatures are still able to swipe at the open truck bed with their talon-like fingernails. Get behind me! Ugh! As she shoves you back, one of them gets its fingers around Candace's shoulder and drags her out of the bed, splattering blood across your face as its claws tear through her skin. Candace! She struggles to break free, but soon the other creatures are grabbing hold of her. Strangely, the creatures don't seem to be biting her, instead pulling her towards some kind of glowing cavern in the distance. Ah! Let me guess. She became the queen. And the last thing you see as the truck picks up speed is her screaming face as she's dragged underground. One can only ascertain the fate of Candace. One will never truly know. From exploring an apocalyptic world to building a colony to fighting off zombies, thank you so much for coming on this journey with us. We hope you enjoyed playing Wake the Dead as much as we enjoyed making them. Yeah, no, and then the book is dead. Literally, there's no book 2. Literally, they kind of took the Walking Dead approach with this book and actually continued it, but no. But hey! At least we continue getting sequels to shitty books. I had to take a drink of that. So, I'm gonna talk here in just a second. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the video and the channel. Be greatly appreciated. Without further ado, most of you have probably tuned out by now, but for those of you who actually reached the end of the book, I want to thank you and very much just say you are appreciated for being a part of this channel, for listening to the whole videos, my messages at the end of these videos and whatnot. It's really appreciated. Really, you folks literally make the difference for me every single time and every single video and every single day. With that being said, after my talk the other day with Untamable at the end, which most people didn't tune into, and only like literally 2 people cared to even acknowledge. Yeah, no, it's been a fun journey. It really has. So I'm not gonna, Debbie down on that one right now. I will say this. I had a Patricia of my own. Her name was Ashley. She was a person that wasn't my sister. She was a person that I deeply cared about and loved. And she was taken from me, from this world. Long story short, she wanted me to be happy. She wanted me to be a good person and everything else. And so I have tried to, my whole entire life, construct myself to be a good person. To never do any of the wrongs that other people have done. Right? And so that's one of the reasons I became a content creator, was to make a difference, to make people happy, to make people smile, to make their days different and better, and do as much as I possibly could. And from my journey that started literally 11 years ago, from my first video, I've done that. I've tried. And then I've had people who, we don't really need to rehash this drama, do we? Who have tried to take down this channel. And quintessentially, it doesn't really bother me that they have targeted me and constantly left messages and saying all kinds of horrible things. And then, tried to take me down with the aid of another content creator that on the platform that everybody just, even with proof, they've kind of just got behind and rallied, right? They rallied behind him, and then people go, well, that was years upon years ago. Yeah, you need to get over it. Yeah, no, listen, when someone literally tries to destroy your community and your channel and the baby that you've made, no, you never get truly over that. You really never do. And we look at the world right now, and we're supposed to hold people accountable, and so when you do that, it's kind of really disheartening when people are like, yeah, no, you should just get over it. And then just everything else going on in this world. Again, as I said in this video, I have always tried to be an optimist. I've always tried to be a person that's made a difference for other people. And literally since I was in high school, long before content creation was a thing, I advocated for people, like during the prom, because back then proms were only male and female, right? The male was the king and the female was the queen. Our high school was one of the first that was allowing and pushing for allowing females to be kings, and if there was also female queen, and then allowing 2 men to be prom king and queen. That was the thing, and I've always continued to push for other people, right? And again, a very lengthy resume of things that I've tried to change in my life and try and really help with other people because I had the, like I said, misfortune. I guess misfortune because, she made me into a really heavily optimist and trying to help other people. And, yeah, I kept pushing for her. I kept trying to live for two people. And I've kind of burned the candle at both ends, really. And you continue to be met with, let's just say, negativity every single day. And so you kind of get burnt out, fam. Again, I've been a content creator who's done 3,600 minimum videos on this platform. I have had to fight groups of individuals that just dislike me for absolutely no goddamn reason. And just a lengthy list of other shit. And just, yeah, being a content creator, I mean, literally, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, like a bunch of big content creators have made videos about it. How, you know, clearly they've never done anything wrong themselves, and they just constantly get bombarded every single day with negativity. And, figuring all the things that I've gone through that I haven't even talked about. I'm just kind of like exhausted. Exhausted. And, I could go on and on and on. And maybe I need to talk sometime about this. And maybe just make a video, but then I know that only a handful of you would watch it and actually care, understand. I don't know. But I thought I would take this opportunity if people want to hear me talk about this shit at the end of this video. It's about the only opportunity that I'll have anyone from the Choices community actually listen to me. As like all of a sudden, it's funny that posts from years and years and years ago are coming up now of what I said or things that I've tried to make Choices accountable for the company and everything. It's funny how people are starting to rehash that and be like, "Well, Locum was right." Yeah, no shit, I'm right, because I'm one of those people who I don't open my mouth and remove all doubt until I have all the facts and I've made a very educated statement or opinion. I don't open my mouth until then. And yeah, no, I'm tired. Again, you kind of tell someone don't put your hand on the burner, they'll burn themselves, and they do it again and again and again. And finally you get to like 40 times and you're just like, "You know what? I'm tired." And I am very tired right now. I'm just very, very tired. Very tired of a lot of things. And again, I've been doing this for 11 years. I've supported people for longer than that. And yeah, no. I'm guessing in a way it's time for I'm trying to be like that, alpha male bullshit that everybody wants. Where everyone's like, no, men are just supposed to go through life and never complain, and they're supposed to just provide and do all this other shit. Yeah, no, I'm a little tired of that. I'm a little tired of that, especially when you keep getting slapped and punched in the face. And then you're not supposed to complain, you're just supposed to suck it up, all this other garbage. It gets so exhausting. It really does. And I don't want to sit here and be like, "Yo, listen, I need support." Because I know I'm not gonna get it. I know as a guy I'm not gonna get it. And again, like I said, I don't want to rehash this, but I remember a few years ago I made even a video and a GoFundMe and everything else for my brother in a wheelchair who can't walk. I make videos of me carrying him because I'm his legs. And I remember the insurance company and the federal government and everybody turning us down for a wheelchair, saying it was not medically relevant, even though he's never walked his entire life. And no one cared. No joke, no one gave a shit. So that's why I sit here and I go, yeah, no, I'm not going to sit here and ask for help because I know it'll never come. If people, 8 billion people on this planet, if no one gave a crap for that kid in there, then no one's going to give a bigger crap or a smaller crap even for me. So yeah, no, that's where I'm at. This is why I'm kind of like burnout, right? And yeah, just taking this moment at the end of this video, figuring it as the finale. I don't know if we'll come across any finales. This may be the finale of the finales for me. So that's why I'm kind of having this talk. So thanks again for watching. Thanks again for listening. And see you when I see you.